The absolute value of a number of quantity is, or quantity in general, is this quantity if the quantity is positive, okay, or equal zero. And the opposite if the quantity is negative. So the absolute value of the number represents also the, we can see it as the distance of the point to the origin. Okay. So if you have the origin here and A is, for example, positive, then we say this absolute value is the number A. So it's A. Now, if my number A is negative is here, and we are taking then minus A, but still minus A then will represent something positive, and it represents this distance always. So the absolute value of A is the distance of A to 0. Okay, this is the meaning. And the absolute value of the difference of two numbers is the distance, is also measures the distance of between E and B. E and B. Uh, we have also some properties we can establish. So yes, here we can see it also. If you have a line, then you will have E and B. So the distance between the two quantities, either B here or E here, we did not to include in all the situation. It is exactly the meaning of this, the usual distance we know. Now the absolute value of minus of the opposite of A is the same. Also, the absolute value of a product of two reals is the absolute value of product of the absolute values. The square root of A square is the absolute value of A. For the sum, we have the absolute value of the sum is less than or equal the absolute value. And so these mainly the properties related to the absolute value. Okay. Let's now see how we can apply it to compute quantities where absolute value uh, is involved. For example, suppose that I am given to compute the exact, give the exact value of this expression, complex expression. 2 times absolute value of minus 3 plus absolute value of 3 times minus 4 minus absolute value of 10 over minus 2 minus absolute value minus 15 over minus 3 and plus 0.5 and plus 1 over 4 absolute value of minus 2. So as you see, this expression is a complex quantity involving many absolute values. Um, it's not easy to manipulate directly the absolute value. We need to so t- to is to evaluate each expression without the absolute values. That means we need to remove the absolute values. So let's start from the last term, okay, and do the calculation step by step. So suppose, or I can start from the beginning also. What about this one? Absolute value of minus 8 minus 5. What is it? So I can compute inside what is inside. Minus 8 minus 5, I know it's minus 13. Now the absolute value of the opposite is the absolute of the number itself. So it will be 13. I do the same now for what about 2 times absolute value minus 3. So it's 2 times absolute value. Absolute of minus 3 is also the absolute value of 3, which is 3. 2 times 3, which is 6. Let's continue. Absolute value 3 minus 4. Here again, I evaluate the quantity inside. then it's the absolute value of 12, which is 12 because 12 is positive. Absolute value of 10 over minus 2 is also a fraction, so its absolute value minus 5. And here I can use also the definition and say it's the opposite of the opposite because minus 5 is negative, which gives me also 5. Okay. What else? We add 0, 5, and the last quantity is 1 over 4, absolute value of minus 2. So it will be 1 over 4, absolute value of, we said, I can say it's minus of minus 2, which is 1 over 4 times 2, which is 1 over 2. And now we can then um, add all these quantities. So let's do that. So let's come back to our expression A. So A now is 13 minus 2 times it's 6 plus 12 minus the absolute value of 10 over minus 2 is 5. So I skipped this value, I forgot about it. So absolute value minus 15 over minus 3. So here numerator gives me it's minus of minus 15 over minus 3, which is 15 over minus 3, which is 5 times 3 over minus 3. We can simplify by 3 and get minus 5. So I'm here. So it will be minus of minus 5. Okay. Then plus 0, 5. And the last quantity is 0, 5. So let's see if we can simplify. So I have here 7 plus here I have 7 plus 5 and plus 1. Okay. So it's 14 plus 6, which is 20. So if I didn't do a mistake, this is our final answer. 13 minus 2 times 3 is 6 plus 12 minus 5 minus 5 plus 5, 0, 5 plus 0, 5. So here 7, here it's 7, and here and then plus 5 and plus 1. Yes, 6 and 14, so 20. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, so this is the idea. We have to compute separately each absolute value, then substitute our quantity. So we need anyway to eliminate the absolute. The idea is to eliminate the absolute value.